Shalom, shalom. Good morning, good morning. On my way to work again. I wanted to talk to you about a certain part of the Bible that I think most people have read, but not everyone. But it's about the story of David as he was a little boy, and this giant man called Goliath. This giant. You know, this little boy was talking with the king. At the time was King Saul, and in the men of Israel, the tribes that were there, the people that were there, were very fearful of this giant and all the army that he had with him. And he was saying blasphemous things against their beliefs, their Elohim, their God that they believe in, of Israel. He was calling them out, was challenging them, and nobody would come and fight with this man because he's so intimidating. He's such a giant man, an actual giant. And little David came and to the king and said, let me go out and take the head of this dog that dares, talk this way to Israel, to our people. And King Saul was probably like a little hesitant, and you sure you can do this? And David said, when I was tending to the sheep, I had faced the lion and I faced the bear, and I killed them both. And they didn't have guns and all kinds of stuff back then, so he knew how to handle himself. He was given a gift to defend, a gift to fight. And if you know his life, you see what he did later on in life, but he did a lot of great things. And came toe to toe with this giant. The giant's like, who is this dog that comes at me with sticks? And King David tells him, you come at me with the sword and with the spear, and but I come at you in the name of Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh, Yahuwah, which is Lord. And he picked up a rock. He picked up 5 rocks, and he put one in a sling, and he slinged it at this giant. And he hit him right in the forehead and killed him. Knocked him down and killed him. And then he took the giant's sword, which is humongous, probably just as big as he was at the time, and he cut off his head. And when he did that, he held up the head, and all the Philistines that were there ran in fear. They just saw their giant, their champion, their destroyer fall at the hands of a little boy. Because David was a little boy at the time. And so one thing that Goliath didn't understand and the Philistines didn't understand, there's something that they missed. They couldn't see it because they saw David as this little boy, this little weak person, but they didn't understand that inside that little weak boy was a king. Inside that little boy was a lion. Inside that little boy was a heart that had no fear. And it's a story that we can apply to our life. It's very applicable to our life. We have a lot of challenges in life. We have a lot of maybe opposition, people, things that we don't understand, things that we don't learn, jobs, poverty, sickness, disease, brokenheartedness, whatever it is that's in your way right now. It's in your way. It's making you feel bad. It's stripping you down. That's what Goliath means. Goliath means to strip down. And that's what he was doing. He's talking down to Israel, talking down to the king, talking down to David. And David's like, who is this man? Let me take his head off. And at one time, King Saul said, well, here, try my armory on. Try my armor before you go out there. But it was too big. It was too big because David was still a little boy. We don't need other people's ways. We don't need other people's gifts. You have your own. And he just went out there with what he had and with what he knew and with the one he believed in. And he was able to slay the giant. And I'm telling you right now, if you're going through something right now, you got to understand there's a king inside of you. There's a lion inside of you. There's a champion inside of you. And you can take the head off that challenge that's in front of you, that enemy, whatever it is. Not physically. I don't want nobody going out there cutting people's heads off and all that dumb stuff. I'm saying in the spiritual realm, and in a as a saying, if let's say you have bills, you have college, you have homework, you got papers that need to be done, you got work, you got a family to raise, you got all these things you got to do, especially for moms. Moms have a lot, they do a lot, but they're trying to, there's some people out there, I know them, they got work, they got school, they got a family. That's a whole lot on their plate. That's a lot of weight on the shoulders. That's a lot to take care of and to tend to and pay attention to, and then try to do it your best is even harder. And then trying to prosper and come up above all those things, it gets hard, but it's not impossible. I'm telling you, you have the champion inside of you. You have that king inside of you. You got to have the kingdom thinking to overcome the things of this world, this false kingdom that we're in right now. The real kingdom that you belong to. Well, once you understand where you belong, then you understand who you are. And once you understand where you belong and you understand who you are, you understand the power that you have and the authority that you have. And you should not have any fear inside of you to face these things face to face. It's time for you to rise up in the name of the Father, in the name of Yahuwah, in the name of Yahweh, in the name of the Lord. And rise up in His name. Rise up in the power that He's given you. Understand that you are mysteriously and wonderfully made by Him. And that you have inside of you a king, and a lion that's roaring, a lion that's lurking to devour our enemy, that opposes our king, that opposes our life, that opposes our family. And you can defeat all these things. It might not happen overnight. It might not happen instantly. But it can happen. And you can overcome the challenges in your life. There's a lot of people that I've met, there's people that I've read about, people that I've heard about that have been sick. And because the power of their belief and their faith, really, not just saying it, but really core believing it, were able to defeat cancer, be able to defeat a lot of diseases and ailments inside their life. People who were told they would never walk again are running marathons. I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've seen it over again. People that were told that they would never walk again, or living good lives and working hard and taking care of their family. Even people who were told that they would never hear, or they can hear because they believe they can hear. There's people that are told that they could not see ever again, and they can see because the power inside of their mind. They understood that they had something inside of them that said, "No, I will hear. I will walk. I will overcome." And even with the challenges that they had, physical handicaps that they had, they were able to overcome those things. And then there's the others that even if they have a handicap, even if something happens to them, they're still going to rise up and do something great. People that have had full function of their body, now in wheelchairs, quadriplegics, they can only move their head. Even people like that have found a way to prosper and to do something great, to have a good attitude, to be positive, to be happy, to be loving, and to do something of value and worth. They write with their mouth, they talk, they speak, they pour out the wisdom and knowledge that they have. They do everything they can to help others, and they become something great instead of just giving up on life. It's something very special when you see someone like that rise up. Like, oh wow, what am I doing with my life when I got full function of my whole entire body and my mind, and I've been given a gift by the Father. It's called life, and the gift I'm giving back to Him is how I live it. And so, kingdom thinking. Are you thinking like a king, or are you thinking like a beggar? You have authority in your life. You need to truly believe who you are and the one who is inside of you, and the power that He has given you. You really need to believe that, and that faith will have an overcoming power over the giants in your life. And whatever giant you're facing today, you have the power to knock it down and cut off its head and go on and be the king that you're supposed to be. And if you're a woman and you're listening to this, oh, a king, no, there's a king inside of you. You can still be a king. A king's just a position. It doesn't mean you're a man or a woman. And that's mankind terms. I'm talking about in the kingdom. You can be a queen if you want to call yourself that, like Queen Esther, the greatest queen that I've ever seen. And I always say that's my queen. If you go study Esther, what a powerful woman with no fear. She stood before death, put her life on the line for her nation, for her people, and she did it in a very, very humbling very beautiful way. Go study her story and what she did. She put herself aside, became what the king needed her to be. She was chosen out of many. She rose up, and with the love that she had, and with the courage that she had, and the strength that she had, she was able to save a nation of people. One woman made a difference. One great woman, one queen, stood up and made a difference. And she saved the nation from annihilation, from not existing ever again. She saved the people because the king's heart was in her hand. Woo, man. Father gave her favor. He gave her power. He gave her authority. He gave her courage. And he gave her faith. So I don't know what you're facing, but whatever it is, you can surely overcome it. Have kingdom thinking. Whether you're a king or you're a queen, you have power with the real king, and he will help you out in all that you do. All right, well, shalom, shalom. I'm coming up to work right here. Hope you all understand what I'm saying. Kingdom thinking. Don't forget, stay blessed, stay great, and know who you are. Until I see you again, shalom, shalom.